Good morning. I am still here in Stockton Brook, so once again apologies for the shaky cam. Big weekend of Premier League football has just finished. We are now on the international break. I'm not a huge fan of the international break, to be honest, although my own team, Manchester United, I think we actually need it now. I know Ollie's pushing, or there was talk last week of him pushing for another friendly. Maybe players aren't fit, maybe something's just not quite clicking, maybe some players aren't match sharp, but I think it's definitely come at the right time. Don't enjoy the international break, not a huge fan of international football, but it'll be good to just sort of assess the start we've made and kick on with that, what is now a huge game against Newcastle United. No doubt we will hear people talking about how Newcastle nearly won the title in 1996 and were once referred to as the entertainers. No doubt that we will hear about Newcastle's 5-0 win in October 1996 over Manchester United. No doubt about that, no doubt. But Newcastle, a club, what more can you say about them really? They're a shambles really, aren't they, from top to bottom? But another club that is a shambles from top to bottom, right the way through, is Arsenal Football Club. Huge footballing institution in this country, and I was unfortunate enough to watch some of Arsenal Fan TV during their capitulation against Manchester City. And I don't think Manchester City really broke a sweat. I mean, everyone's talking about Manchester City being magnificent, but I thought Arsenal were just poor from back to front. They had a promising start, but really as soon as Manchester City got going, they got the first goal, Arsenal just rolled over, gave in, no character, no fight. It's the same old story. And you can say what you want about Newcastle United, and that's a story for another day. Arsenal, they do they do it to themselves really. From top to bottom, structurally they are really poor, and it is embarrassing and it's boring now. That's the thing. I was watching a bit of Arsenal Fan TV, and someone on Arsenal, and the nerve of this channel. Apologies for the noise, for the traffic, just walking by a road here. Now, the nerve of this channel to actually, they've got the new setup, they've got this nice shelving, they've got the champagne glasses out. Wasn't champagne football from Arsenal. It was awful. But they've got Arsene Wenger's book, Arsene Wenger's face behind. I think it was Lee Judge's, and he's talking about it being Wenger's fault. He's basically blaming Arsene Wenger for the problems within the club, within the players. And it's like, well, Arsene Wenger left in 2018. You can't blame Arsene Wenger. And those problems are there. You've got, why is it Wenger's fault? The way that they treated Arsene Wenger, it really, I was never comfortable with it. Yes, it's a rival club, so it's a bit of banter at first, but as the more it went on, the more uncomfortable. And they make Arsenal feel like it's a very toxic fan base, isn't it? And I think the nerve of them to blame Arsene Wenger. Arteta is completely out of his depth, isn't he? He doesn't know what he's doing. It's all right, people saying, oh, he's worked with Guardiola. It means nothing. It means nothing. It's like, just because if I work with someone, if I work alongside someone that's had a vast amount of success, it doesn't mean that I'm just as good as them, or I'm just as knowledgeable or as capable as them. I've got no doubt that Arteta is a nice bloke. He's a nice bloke. But actually, when you think about it, is he? Is he though? And apologies again for the traffic. There's a lot of talk about him being, this great sort of disciplinarian. This disciplinarian that he was gonna sort of sort the club out, and he was a man to be feared. He was a disciplinarian. He'd get his house in order. He'd get the Arsenal house in order. But no, he's it just doesn't work like that, does it? And I think really, excuse me, I think he's been shown up. I think he's lost the senior players. He's lost the senior players. He's lost the dressing room. His man management is poor, and that is why Arsenal are in the position. There's multiple messages going through. Well, look at a lot of hanging trees. A lot of hanging trees. That is why they're in the position that they're in at the moment. Now, I'm just a fan. I have no idea of the inner workings of that club, but from an outsider looking in, I can see massive problems, and those problems are there when Wenger was there. But it wasn't Wenger's fault. You know, you look at recruitment, you look at the lack of investment, you look at the kind of players that they were bringing in. It was poor. They certainly weren't to the standard that I associated with Arsenal and Arsene Wenger when they were going toe to toe with Manchester United and when they were challenging for the Premier League title. Certainly not the case. So Arsenal, they are a bit of beyond a joke now. They're a bit of a shambles, and they're bottom of the league. They deserve to be bottom of the league. They offered nothing in that game. I've said with United in the past, you know, you don't like losing, you don't like drawing, you want to win, but you can accept it. That doesn't happen, it's the manner of how you go about your business. And I just think that there's not one player, and actually I say, you know, there's not one player. I think there are players that are wasted in there, wasted talent. You know, Kieran Tierney, I think he's absolutely fantastic. I like Emile Smith-Rowe. I really liked Joe Willock. He's gone to Newcastle now. You know, 8 assists in 14 games last season. You know, so what is going on there? There seems to be no vision, no plan, no idea. I think the coach is out of his depth. I think did they do anything to change that game the other day? Now, it's all right. Right, we're moving away from traffic now. So these are quite interesting to me. Right, go. So they are just out of their depth, aren't they? And I just think they have become a bit like Newcastle United. They have become like Newcastle United because, you know, for several years they were competitive. Bobby Robson left, and since then, yeah, they had a couple of okay seasons under Pardew, but they've never recovered. And Arsenal have always been, they historically, by the history, they are an elite club, but they don't act like an elite club, do they? They don't act like a big club. You know, ownership, again, goes back to structure. I know he obviously puts all his money into his American sports franchises, and but then you could also counter that by saying, well, they spent 50 million on Ben White from Brighton. Okay, well, in the last 3 games they've conceded 5 against Manchester City and 4 in the previous 2 games, you know, against Chelsea and Brentford. And whenever you say about Brentford, with all due respect, and I like Brentford, I think they play positive. I like the way they play. I think really Arsenal, and nothing's a given in football, in any sport, but really Arsenal should be taking 3 points there, a point at the very least, but they offered nothing, absolutely nothing. So again, it's going to be a long season. I thought they put a little bit of a run together after that Chelsea win last Christmas, and they got out of it, but then nothing really changed. I thought they threw away a chance in the FA Cup against Southampton, went out early in that. They're not in Europe this season, I think, so a lot of people would have probably thought this is an opportunity, no European distractions, we can get off to a good start. I heard some people saying top 4. Oh, Arsenal are going to make the top 4. Are they? I predicted them to finish 8th this season, I'm already questioning that. I'm only 3 weeks into the season. I think Arsenal are in big trouble, and I'm now starting to consider that they might not even finish in the top half of the table. And for Arsenal, and you know, ultimately it doesn't matter to me what happens to Arsenal, but just as a spectator watching that club, I don't have any faith in the management. I don't have any faith in the players, and you've got some decent players, but they don't work as a team. Very echoey now. Come under this tunnel. So yeah, long season ahead for Arsenal. Yes, they got a bit of a reprieve in that 6-0 win over West Brom. A good West Brom team in the Championship. They were in the Premier League last season, but really you can't take anything from that game ultimately, can you? Because they've scored 6 and conceded 5 in the next one. So long season ahead for Arsenal. And those are just my thoughts, really. When I, you know, looking back over that game, obviously I've spent a lot of my time focusing on United, but sometimes I obviously look at other teams and what they're doing. Unfortunately, I did watch that game, Manchester City and Arsenal. I don't think City broke a sweat, and I think Arsenal were poor. And ultimately, I think it just tells you a lot about where they are as a club at the moment. A lot of people talk about Conte. I just think, if you're Antonio Conte, why do you want to go to Arsenal? If you're Brendan Rodgers, if you're anyone at the moment, yes, it's a prestige of managing Arsenal, but I think they're kind of getting what they deserve now. Certainly a lot of their fans are, or the online fans, the fans that you see online that were very vocal about Wenger. He was like, top 4 is not good enough. We should be competing. Yes, arguably you should. But, you know, it's not as simple as saying it's the manager's fault. It's Wenger's fault. He kept you very competitive. You were competitive. That year when Leicester won it, arguably you should have won it. There are a few arguments along the way for Wenger and against him, but it's not just Arsene Wenger. And I'm kind of relieved in a way, because I've always liked Arsene Wenger. I've got huge respect for him for what he did for Arsenal. I thought he actually brought Fergie and United up to another level. And he played a huge part in those early Premier League years. That rivalry with Manchester United. I'm actually stuck now, so I don't know where I'm going. So I'm going to have to find my way out of this sort of cul-de-sac. Oh, that's the way. I know where I'm going now. Tell I don't come down this way very often, but yeah. So those are my thoughts on Arsenal Football Club. What are your thoughts? Where do you think they're going to go this season? Do you have any hope for them, or are they doomed? Let me know in the comments section. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon.